Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel, where we delve into the mind of a villain. In this entry, we'll be taking a look at Jafar, the evil sorcerer from the live-action Aladdin remake. Consumed by envy and revenge, Jafar would stop at nothing in his insatiable lust for power. His life's philosophy is summed up in one of his phrases, when he says that you're either the most powerful man in the room or you're nothing. Jafar is introduced in the film as Sultan's vizier, his most trusted advisor and second in command only to Sultan himself. It's quickly established that Jafar covets his position and wishes to overthrow him, but he faces one major obstacle. Jafar is not born of royal blood, which means he has reached the peak of his advancement and can go no further. He would have to be content with remaining second in command, which is already a remarkable achievement as pointed out by the jailer. However, as we see over the course of the film, the notion of coming in second is a trigger for Jafar, giving him a sense of inferiority and fueling him with envy. It's probable that Jafar's abusive past has a strong correlation with his obsession with power. He was a street rat in Shirabud, the lowest of the low in society. Most likely, Jafar's experience growing up mirrors that of Aladdin's mistreatment, since he comments on how similar they are. Being poor, Jafar had to resort to stealing to survive. This is implied by his quick sleight of hand, which he displays to Aladdin in the desert to imply that he had to pickpocket to survive. This is seen again later in the film when he covertly manages to swipe off the lamp from Aladdin's belt. Jafar's motivation also stems from 5 years in prison in Shirabud, most likely due to thievery. He comments on the inconsistency of justice in his most quotable line when he says, "Steal an apple and you're a thief, but steal a kingdom and you're a statesman." Jafar feels indignant over this injustice, that petty crimes are punished harshly, while more severe crimes are not only condoned but rewarded. He learns from personal observation that those who hold positions of power will never be at the mercy of those without, and so he vows to always be the most powerful person wherever he is. This quest for power serves as compensation for his past suffering. But it is a selfish quest, as Jafar does not seek to become Sultan to help the poor and the downtrodden, of which he once was. It is all for his own gratification. Jafar is quick to use unethical means in his quest for power, often resorting to taking the lives of those who stand in his way. He vaguely mentions to the jailer of the sacrifices he took to be where he is, and the bodies he's had to bury. As a result of his abusive past, Jafar is often violent-tempered and volatile, with one wrong word from his subjects being enough to warrant execution. But most of the time, it appears that Jafar resorts to using sorcery to control his opponents, getting them to do his will by putting them into a hypnotized trance. Even without his staff, Jafar is shown to be an efficient manipulator. We see this when he convinces Aladdin to work for him by appealing to their similarities as street rats and enticing him with the riches of the Cave of Wonders. Jafar is also prideful and entitled, demanding the respect of others and vowing that those who underestimate him will pay. He has a low opinion of the Sultan, labeling him a small-minded fool and despising him for his spineless incompetence. It aggravates Jafar that he has to take orders from the Sultan, especially when he is told to remember his place as an advisor. Revenge is another one of Jafar's motivators. He has a grudge against the city of Shirabud due to his tough upbringing, wandering the streets in poverty and being imprisoned. He tries multiple times to have the city destroyed, either through persuading the Sultan to invade the city or by attacking it directly as a genie. Jafar never healed from the wounds of his upbringing, which results in his vengeful and sadistic nature. After he becomes Sultan and the most powerful sorcerer, he inflicts his vengeance on the Sultan by choosing to take away what he loves most. This he does when he forces Jasmine to marry him just to torture the Sultan. At the end, Jafar's lust for power becomes his undoing, as his envy blinds him to all that he already has and causes him to imprison himself with his final wish. Overall, Jafar is an example of the danger of envy and the insatiable lust for power that has no end. So what do you think of Jafar, folks? Let me know in the comments below, and if you'd like, you can check out other characters covered here.